Hi guys, I'm Pinkypop. This is Dachi. We're playing Archeage. This is Sharpwind Mines, and we're about level 20. We actually just started playing this game yesterday. Funny. We were looking at some games to play, and this one caught our eye because of a lot of really cool features in the game. Actually, there's
fishing boats,
pirate ships, so you can man your own ship, have your own castle, own your own land, kind of like on Final Fantasy XIV, except you can steal shit from people, so that's pretty cool. And people that have stolen stuff, they actually get flagged with red names when their crime rate gets high enough.
like on court.
Yeah, they go to court. They have a jury system, and a judge passes judgment on them, and you go to jail. You actually do jail time, and the judge determines how much time you do.
Seen a guy do 28 minutes, and in this game, that's a long time.
Yeah, 28 minutes is pretty steep. The downside to that is the jury can be pretty one-sided because it's literally a jury of your peers, which is anyone in the game at the time who feels like being part of the jury. Only the judge can pass sentence, but still, a lot of people are pretty unforgiving. We are on a very populated server, though. Anyway, yeah, you can steal stuff from people. The economy is completely player-driven. Crafting, trade routes. There are trade routes in this game. You can help people to escort their trade goods, or you can rob them, whatever you feel like doing, whatever side of the coin you're on. But you can also hunt down the red-named players. That's actually the only way they can go to jail. You can get flagged with red names and stay in a PvE zone, a non-PK zone, player kill zone, and you can't be killed. But if you leave that zone and go out into a PvP zone, which is pretty much the entire world other than the neutral zones, you can be killed by another player, and that's when you go to jail and you wait for your sentence. If you kill green name players, you rack up infamy, and that's how you get crime points. And when you accumulate 50 crime points, that's when you become a criminal, and that's when other players can hunt you down and kill you.
And then 5,000 infamy, you end up becoming a pirate, which is apparently kind of cool to some people. That's not what I'm about.
Some people really enjoy the whole pirate thing because you can get your own ship and go out onto the oceans and the seas and travel from continent to continent and raid other people's trade ships or fishing boats that are out, or just raid the other continents and steal stuff from people. It's actually pretty cool. The really popular anime Sword Art Online, that's kind of what this game is like. Minus the whole, if you get killed in the game, you die in real life. Obviously.
But dying does have a penalty to it in this game.
Dying has a pretty steep penalty in this game. See, everything in this game functions off of labor that you accumulate as time goes by while you play. And you get 5 labor per 5 minutes in-game if you're playing the free-to-play version. If you subscribe to play the game, though, and pay the $15 per month, you actually accumulate more labor than that, and you can accumulate labor while you're offline. But you don't actually have to subscribe to this game to be good at it or to accomplish anything. Subscribing just kind of gets you ahead with the random little perks that you get from it. As you can see here, I was having quite a hard time getting up here. See, we came into this dungeon, and you're supposed to have 3 people. We're doing it 2-man, just goofing off. I don't think we really planned on trying to finish the dungeon, and we actually only made it to the first boss because the servers had to go down for maintenance. But I decided I'm playing like a warrior. I guess it would be like an arms warrior from World of Warcraft. The way I'm spec'd, it's battle rage and shadow play. Shadow play is kind of like a rogue or an assassin from Final Fantasy, I guess is what it would be. Final Fantasy Tactics. And you combine them with the... What is that? What is that? Is that Auramancy? Yeah, Auramancy. Combine them with Auramancy, and I get a Dark Runner, which is essentially, like I said, an arms warrior or a mix between an arms warrior and a ret paladin from World of Warcraft, if you're familiar with that. But the class system in this is a lot like Rifts. You have 3 different trees that you can choose to spec in as you level up, and the different trees that you combine determine what class you actually have. So that's pretty neat. It leaves for a lot of room for you to develop your own class, kind of like in Rift. There's not as many classes as in Rift, but this is made by Tryon Games, who does make Rift, so a lot of similarities. Except, all in all, I actually feel this game, from what I've played of it so far, is better than Rift. And, that was really convenient. The person to respec with is right there in the dungeon. I've actually never seen that in an MMO before. It's pretty crazy.
Can't say I've ever seen it either.
Some of these pulls are really crazy. It'd be a lot easier if we actually had another person.
A healer.
A healer, actually, yeah. We actually went back to that person to respec because I was going to respec for Defender and become a little tankier, because I essentially am a warrior, and he's a rogue. He does a lot more damage than I do. But with a two-handed weapon, I still do a pretty significant amount of damage, and I can take a better hit than him, but he dodges way better than I do. Him fighting one-on-one with something, he doesn't take near as many hits. So he can survive quite a long time. We had to plan these pulls pretty well. If we get more than 3 people, we knew we couldn't do it. 3 people pushed us to the limit pretty much, and any more damage than that, there's no way we could have done it. So these dungeons aren't exactly really forgiving, and they're not easy. Dying on this game, as I started to say earlier, that comes with a really hefty price. You actually lose experience when you die, and that can cause you to lose a level. That can set you back pretty far, and you get a dying debuff. If you're playing the human race on this game, dying and being brought back to life actually kind of gives you a buff, but we're playing elves, so essentially, since we intend on, as we play this game, eventually getting onto a ship and doing heroic things such as hunting down pirates and PKers, player killers, we went with elves because they get bonuses to swimming and stuff like that, in case our ship ever gets destroyed or we're just stranded out in the water for some reason someday. Yeah, it is bound to happen. But the dungeon isn't exactly easy. It would be a lot easier with the third person, but just 2 people. I'd recommend trying to get 3 people to do this.
It is to be noted that all the little items that you see that the blue exclamation point pop up are items that you can use in game.
Yeah, that's actually pretty neat. When you loot these players and they drop these items, you can use them on the enemy NPCs.
Given you have the right class for it.
Yeah, given you have the right class for it, which is pretty neat. And,
now, if I'm correct, this pool right here is pretty hectic.
Which pool is that?
This is the one where I don't bubble the guy in time, so we just have to burn.
Oh, yeah. He actually has an ability where he can bubble a dude and it raises them up in the air, and they can't attack or get out of it or anything. So that made it a little easier to do this, since we would just remove one enemy and kill 1 or 2 instead of having to fight 3 at a time, because as you saw earlier, when we tried to fight 3 at once, I almost died. I mean, I barely made it out alive, which is going to happen here shortly again. We're actually going to fight the boss. When we first started fighting the boss, we accidentally reset it. So you're going to see kind of
a glitch
here where we had to cut that part out to shorten down the video, since it wasn't really relevant. And I'd planned on telling everyone that we screwed up and had to reset it anyway, so not really a big deal.
I don't want you guys to have to watch that.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
It was embarrassing. But oh well, we're just goofing off.
We shouldn't have been in here in the first place.
We hadn't actually planned on coming this far. We just kind of figured out that we could do it, so we're like, why not?
Both of us with extensive MMO knowledge, we figured, why not try and see what we know?
We're actually both undergeared pretty bad for this.
Very bad, actually.
Even though we've been doing quests, that's pretty much all we've been doing. We've been questing consistently, leveling up.
As you can see, there's the bubble ability, just kind of hanging out.
Yep, just puts him up in a little bubble of water. If you play League of Legends, kind of like Nami's bubble.
Just it lasts a lot longer.
Lasts a lot longer than Nami's bubble. Could you imagine?
I don't want to. Well, yeah, dude.
Yeah, you play Nami. That's actually really good. But if enemy Nami, that would suck.
I don't want to talk about it.
Suck donkey. But anyway, we've almost got the room cleared. Moving up to the boss. Or what we thought was the boss. This guy up here actually is not the boss, to our surprise. He is like a mini boss, which was very surprising for this game. But
we start over towards her and we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's a name.
That's sketchy. Let's think about this. For some reason we stand around for a little while.
I think they were
Oh yeah, I remember what we were doing. We were actually planning this pullout. He was going to bubble one, snare the other one, and we were going to try and kill the one free enemy before the dude got out of the bubble or the snare. I don't think it worked out that well. Worked out a lot better than if we tried to fight them all three at once.
Well, we didn't die in here, so...
Yeah, we didn't die. We got really close. We have died in this game, though, a couple times.
Unfortunately.
There are rifts in this game, kind of like in Rift, and they are a lot more unforgiving than rifts.
I actually think this went rather well. I think we kill him before the other one gets over.
You're probably right. Another thing that's really cool in this game, there are warring factions, kind of like in World of Warcraft, where you have the Horde and the Alliance. But you can actually learn the other faction's language, and you can establish trade with the other factions. You can go to their continents and sell warships to them, or war machines, or anything like that, which is pretty cool. Mass wars break out in the game, so you can participate in those. A lot of PvP, especially with hunting down wanted players. I almost died again there. I take a lot of damage.
Pretty sketchy with that shield.
It's pretty sketchy without a shield. But the war system's pretty cool. The trade system's really cool. What really drew us in was the fact that you can hunt down rogue players, any players that have just gone around and killed green name players or stolen things from people, anyone on the wrong side of the law. That's pretty much what sold us on the game. So this is just our first run through in the dungeon, trying to check it out, see what it's about on our way up to 50. This guy wasn't hard at all, actually. He was pretty easy.
You kept her stunned all the time.
Yeah.
Hard to attack if you're laying on your back.
Kept knocking him down. We thought it was over here, and then, bam, the real boss shows up.
I freaked out. I'm like, turn around, turn around, turn around.
He did. He freaked out a little bit. And there was the glitch, and now here's where we're actually going to fight this chick. This chick was actually kind of hard. It wouldn't have been as bad if we'd had another person, like I've said several times before, but...
That is dynamite on the ground there.
She drops dynamite. She's like a rogue. She disappears randomly and will come back and drop dynamite. And then she does this weird little ability that she should start casting any minute now.
You ever watch Bleach? It's like a... What's the guy's name?
What guy's name? Which guy?
I don't Swords. Cherry Blossom.
Oh, Zenbon Zakura or whatever? Friggin'
Rukia's brother.
Rukia's brother?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly what they look like.
Kind of. Only they're, I don't know. She should do it here pretty soon. Basically, she's her big move, which I couldn't figure out how to avoid it. I don't know. My freaking 10 years of MMO experience are showing well here. In my inability to avoid this attack. She rains down these swords from the roof, and it does a massive amount of damage. Right there she goes, just like that, and boom, and yeah, and that sucks really bad. So here I'm going to be running around a little bit, just trying to bide some time and get my health back up. Other than that move though, this This chick's not really that hard. This first boss fight's not really that bad. Here it comes again. And she hates me. Suck a dick. Moving on. But look, his avoidance is so much better than mine. What is your class?
Shadow Runner.
Shadow Runner, that's what it's called?
I don't remember exactly.
Well, apparently I'm a Dark Runner and he's a Shadow Runner, so that's how that works.
We'll say Shadow Runner until I actually figure it out.
Till he actually figures it out. It's a Shadow Runner. Shadow Runner, everyone. And almost got the chick killed. I actually thought I was going to die here. My health pot came back up.
This is where the maintenance starts, and we're like, no.
Yeah, maintenance in 10 minutes, so we're like, oh no, we have to finish this bitch really fast. Ah, we're not going to make it. Dachi almost died. Oh, this is Pinkypop, and I am Keaton, and Dachi is Demir, in case anybody was wondering that. We got our loot, actually got a, looks like a healing mace. It had more strength than what I had, so why not use it? And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this first video. We just thought we'd show you guys a little bit of Archeage and tell you about what drew us to the game, what made us want to play it. You should definitely check it out. We both thoroughly enjoy it so far. As I said, we're 20 levels in, and it's really fun. It's a lot of fun. So, till next time, guys, definitely check out the game, and peace.